Doesn't. Yeah.
Tight affair against FaZe the first time around. Nightmare heartbreaker from what, an 11-1 half?
Dude,
a 12-3 line into overtime. So, look, those shouldn't be replicable in this circumstance. It is a very good Mirage from Liquid. They had a mental collapse against FaZe. They're not the first team to do it. They won't be the last. But the complete picture on Mirage is plenty good. And I'm sure they're working on improving that as well. So let's see what's going to happen. We'll start here on Ancient. I think, as always, when we talk about a very substantial underdog, the first thing the Fluffy Aimers have to do is show us that they can hang. And hello, CS2 equal poop. Who is CS2 equal poop?
Where are you seeing this?
He's hovering over his head. Hold on. Can we go back and observe in T-Spawn? Whose name is that? Come on now. Show us CS2 equals poop. It's Marky.
Is it really?
I think so. We need to wait. If we can see from Slump's perspective, I think they've now fixed it. Whatever bug it was showing, but I'm pretty sure it's either Jason or Marky, and I think it was Marky. Little propaganda here.
Look, I mean, there's been complaints, a lot of complaints, and I do have some myself for CS2, but overall, if you look at what CS2 has added in terms of the smokes, in terms of the lighting, the shadows, all those cool additions that make the game that little bit different, I think it's worth it in the long run. Yes, we're going to have some hiccups in the short term, but long run, I still love Counter-Strike, and I think it's a big improvement.
I think as a spectator game, it's so much better.
Yes.
But I think as an individual playing, the complaints are still very valid. Naps doesn't have any complaints. He's just living. He's just loving. He's laughing. He's taking it all the way to the bank, and Ultimate will follow up for 3. Let's talk about Ultimate, because holy cow zone. We talk about, needing offers in NA. They went and pulled this guy out of tier 2, tier 3 Polish CS, and he turned out to just be an absolute stud against the best in the world.
Yeah, I'm blown away as well, because I hadn't really heard of him. He was on Illuminar. Obviously, there's been some games that we talked about probably or saw him play on, but it wasn't anything like, okay, let's bring this guy to tier 1, and he's impressed joining up with Team Liquid. I think he was with Nom Esports before. They don't even have a Liquipedia page, so you guys know, that's how unknown I would say Ultimate was, but man, he's really impressed so far here. Ultimate, speaking of which, there's a 4K. Ace? The ace, no! Robbed of the ace, but it will be Kendar to get the last one.
It's actually, ironically, almost a blessing for him, because now he can get the all-pop right off rip.
That is true, yeah.
Doesn't have to worry about wasting the money of that SMG. 4 kills on the SMG more than justify this purchase. And so now the AWP comes into the first gun round with, admittedly, still 3 MP9s.
Yeah, and you're looking at his sniper stats, Mike, to talk about it a little bit more, right? He's got 0.35 op frags per round, or sniper frags, I should say, per round, and also a 92 rating on HLTV in terms of his sniping prowess. So he's been very good, and that's just since he joined Liquid.
Yeah, it's bonkers. And you consider the fact that those maps, it's the biggest step up in competition in terms of who he was playing, 3 months ago versus who he's playing now. Actually mind-blowing. Seeing his interviews, hearing them talk about him as well, just seems to have his head screwed on. Twist has deleted news. Started out strong here. There is no presence on A. This is a bomb plant. This is a bomb plant here, John. And they've just gotten a kill on towards B, which will hamper the rotation, slow it down. This is trouble. The smoke's going to tip them off, but not going to be able to get around in time to do anything about this. Provided they don't hesitate, this is now prime position for the Fluffy Aimers. And even better now that Slump's cleaned out the cave.
Wow. All right. Twist and JKS, the last two standing here, just going to try and save the guns, you'd imagine. Marky walks into the crosshair of Twist, who might get a second here. Yeah, okay. Do they justify going for it? I mean, the kid is there, and you see JKS coming in from the flank, so potentially something here.
They're going to give it a look. I mean, this is close enough to the bonus round as well that even if you can keep these guns from getting around, it's not bad. Time's gone. Looking for one more exit. Not going to find it, but Jason will die to the C4. There ain't no escape of that. You can run, but the ancient bomb does not forgive.
Yeah, this is something I've noticed in the current meta of of Ancient, Mike, map after map, no matter the teams that are playing on the server, A site is left a little light and oftentimes extremely open because of how much pressure teams like to apply towards mid. They like to send early pressure, in particular, 3 players charging down mid, getting that control, and a couple players towards that B ramp, because you can't underestimate the power of the T side in terms of those quick rushes. So in order to shut that down, you leave the gap at A, and that time, in fact, it wasn't even really the early round. Liquid never really got back into A, and you see it again here. Look, 3 players down mid, 2 on B, no one on A.
I think the reality is that once you have that mid control, that fast rotation through Donut is very effective. And of course, a retake on A is an appetizing prospect because it's such a tough site to defend. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And it seems like Fluffy Aimers have identified that as a potential inroad early on here. This time there will be a lot of resistance in Donut. But do they have a smoke for it? They do indeed. They do indeed. Ultimate wants to be ahead of it. He is ahead of it. Lost that no one's out just yet. There comes the play. Marky's just been left on tree and they're leaving.
Oh, really?
They're backing off, but Ultimate knows this. He's followed it right up, but Marky's there waiting. The wily Marky, always prepared. And with the presence from News on the other side of the map, they can really pick. Where do you want to go? They don't have control of either one, but they have a lot of options to get it.
Yeah, you have those, like you said, a couple of players now leaning towards B. I would expect Fluffy Aimers want to poke out here, and they absolutely will. Slump going to have a look. And Fluffy Aimers aren't necessarily fully committed into A, but the time is the factor here. 33 seconds left on the clock, and I feel like a rotation to B just isn't going to happen. They're going to fake B and try to draw the rotations from Liquid, but the actual hit is coming A.
Liquid have read this. Well, it's either a situation where they've read it or they just decided to gamble and save if it doesn't work out, but this could be a real problem on the clock. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. First one found. Second one drops. That's the bomb. If Jason goes down, this round is lost. If he goes down, this round is done just to the clock. Oh. There's no chance. There's no chance. They'll do them the mercy of the kills. A beautiful 3-piece coming out from Twist. But the Fluffy Aimers have completely mishandled this. This should have been free and clear. Their players find all the space towards B. If they had enough time to rotate over, Liquid almost certainly would have gone to the save. Instead, it's a disaster.
And those are the type of rounds, if you're Fluffy Aimers, you can't be losing because you're not going to have advantages against Liquid very often. And in that one, it felt like they should have been able to close it out. Just Twists doing a lot of strong work. Unfortunately for the Fluffy Aimers, they didn't set themselves up for success in that situation because they were down to only 15 seconds on the clock, even though they had a ton of time to set up the execute. Anyway, they're going to come back in with pistols here. It is an eco round. Twists spamming through the smoke. He's got one up close, JKS, who can do a ton of damage. There's one, and actually not the second. It's Twist to get that, and it's all Liquid here as only News is left standing.
To the surprise of no one, News is not having a fun time with this, with just the P250. It's not going to happen. This goose egg will not be cracked just yet. And Liquid now with the bank back full. Feeling good. Probably not going towards the op just yet. They're going to have a lot to cook with. Early results. Twist 7-1. Ultimate 7-3. 3 players above 180 AR, I believe, with Nap joining them. That's, it's about what we expected. It's what we said. Fluffy Aimers still have to show us that they can hang. That's a good way to do it. News cracking that goose egg on the head of Twists. That's a kill you'd love to get. JKS with the smoke bot and the kill to follow it up. Savvy maneuver. Problem is they've left B completely vacant and Fluffy Aimers have found the vulnerability. This gamble is going to be punished. Do Liquid have an appetite for this retake? And where 2 players are, the planter as well. Marky on the angle, flash bang to force him off. It turns effectively. Second flash, good. Spam better. You got ultimate, you got one. And now his teammates getting activated from B main. Ultimate may not need them, it all falls to Slump. The new guy, oh, looking the wrong way. Caught with his pants down, and it's ultimate instead to add his 10th kill of the game and get the defuse going.
That is unbelievable. 10 kills already, only 6 rounds in. And it is all Liquid here. Even though the Fluffy Aimers are finding the gaps in the defense here and they're getting some opportunities at an advantage, they're unable to close out in that post plant, which is obviously a little disappointing. But again, you have to realize that this is Team Liquid, that is tier 1 caliber, top 8 in the top 10 in the world, number 8 right now on HLTV, and Fluffy Aimers on the other side who are not, who are, top 50. Although a couple of new pieces, like I said, that make it more exciting, Marquee and, well, News being re-added to the roster, I think that will help them improve, but they're still on the up and coming in terms of that improvement, not necessarily at the point where Liquid are, and you're seeing that time and again here.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Fluffy Aimers are hoping to get into the conversation with teams like Nouns and NRG and M80 and Wildcard. The conversation with Liquid is maybe a few arguments beyond them, but this is a very good case for it. Ultimate on the site, Ultimate again, being that guy! Making it possible for his team. JKS on the angle, will deny the bomb cross. It falls to a 1v1. Twists and Jason. Jason, a 3-piece to his name. He could seal the deal on a massive pistol round victory. This would propel them back into the game in a huge way. Does he hold his nerve?
Oh, no.
Twist spots a gun barrel. Twist spots a gun barrel. It's an assassination. There's no chance, no hope. Oh, you got to get up pretty early in the morning to catch Twist off in a 1v1.
Nah, man, I think actually taking that fight would have been the better choice. And Twist, because when you tuck into that corner, your rifle, the barrel rifle is showing. Unfortunately, it gives you a huge disadvantage if that corner is cleared, and Twist, like you said, he's going to check that every day of the week. Liquid already up to 6 here. The Fluffy Aimers have the full loss bonus, so they will be able to buy up here with 4 AKs and the AWP coming through. They need to start winning duels more consistently. That said, like you mentioned at the beginning of that previous round, they were able to get a couple of nice ones. Just Ultimate, again, has been that barrier in their way round after round up to 13 frags. Ektar is getting really aggressive here, and it doesn't work. Marky finds the opener.
Molotov forces Ultimate off the ankle. Couple kills. Man advantage available for the Aimers, but the problem is they don't have the bomb. Okay, now it's Twist in the clutch. Does he realize? Yes, he does. C4 is right at his feet. This is going to get weird. 1v3. How do you approach this?
I think he's going to rotate around. You can already see him doing it, right? Because just staying on that bomb, you're going to get traded almost every single time. So he decides to go for that rotation back into the A site. And I think it's the right play because it burns a lot of time off the clock with Fluffy Aimers clearing out a lot of corners here.
And they're, of course, not going to know if he's withdrawing towards spawn. They're not going to know exactly which direction he's gone. So there is a lot to be done here. The man who Ocean discovered. Mr. Russell Van Dolken trying to make a massive play here.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while, Mike. Ocean.
Have you watched the Twist doc?
No, I didn't.
It's phenomenal. And Ocean features in it, which was... I remember I saw that he's from Kelowna, and as soon as I saw that, I thought, hold on, we're going to make the play. He's going to make the play. They're trying to deny the bomb. He slipped out one, but the trade is there. Slump quick on the trigger, and that is finally Fluffy Aimers finding their second round on the board. But anyway, he's from Kelowna, which is where Ocean's from. As soon as I saw that he was from Kelowna, I said out loud to myself, I wonder if they'll have Ocean on here. And then Ocean popped in the next frame.
Oh, man. Ocean is missed in CS.
Is the ODig's presence, you know? Yeah. Talk about cultural impact.
Oh, yeah.
You have it as strong as Ocean.
This is going to be a tough round here for Liquid. Yeah.
Making an impact in this round. He is looking for more. Twisted out of the play early on. That's a heavy hitter for Liquid, and things are looking up for the Aimers. They pick the right side as well. It's just Yekindar who can do anything about this B take if they do go through with it. Problem is there might be a pinch on to Brett. He's a little bit stuck. Here's the player jumping around red, and that's keep him on scene. Turn around, Brett. Turn around. Which way you looking?
Oh.
Not prepared for JKS, and now Snow found another. So despite the fact that this should be a bomb plant, the advantage is long since gone. All right, Ultimate. That might have been a little too much mustard on this particular dog. We're into the post here, John. Oh,
Nope. JKS gets the headshot onto Slump. Nope. No frag, though. And now it's a 1v3 NAF. MP9 doesn't look likely here that this is going to happen. And he's already fading off, realizing the situation. So, the Fluffy Aimers, I was worried for a moment, Mike, because it felt like they weren't going to be able to take down Liquid on what is technically a lighter buy for them coming through into this round. But they did recover and find themselves a third. So, at the very least, they're staying in this one. And a lot of it is thanks to Marky. And I think that, as I mentioned before, that is a big firepower upgrade for the Fluffy Aimers that they desperately needed. They were getting outdone in that category every single BO3, regardless of their opponent. So they needed something, and Marky is already delivering in his short time here with the roster.
What do we got here? We got the one AK in the hands of NAF. We've got a single CZ. D57. We've got like the pistol plethora. The sample pack. NAF with the rifle gone immediately. CZ gets one. But now it's time for the 5.7 to show up. This is great damage out of that pistol. Handy demonstration for why you should buy the 5.7 over the CZ. Comes down to ultimate in the clutch. But don't tell him he can't do it. He's edging the smoke. Oh, steps a foot in the flames, and now the nades are all over. Even collects one more, so great damage. But no round to be had, and at this point, Fluffy Aimers will pay any price necessary to put some numbers on the board.
Yeah, that's a wild shot to hit, considering the pressure that was being applied to him. Fluffy Aimers, I think, a little bit fortunate to come out with that round because it wasn't favoring them very well. And I'm kind of torn, Mike, with the CZ. I've seen some nice clips, honestly, lately. A little nice taps that are coming through. I think I saw a 4K on Twitter the other day that was pretty impressive. I can't remember at what level, but either way, it's something that cannot be understated. But I do agree, 20 rounds in that 5.7 and a close range instant headshot. I think it's a little more potent than the CZ at this point. Yekindar is going to get sniped by Slump, so that's a 5v4 already for the Fluffy Aimers. NAF up close, needs to do something. He will absolutely deliver at least one, but not a second. Slump doing work.
Here we go. This is what we wanted, the Slump effect. Still got to deal with the movement on the other side. Marky goes to clear that out. What a shot from Marky. Loving a bit of the Peeker's advantage on that one. Great crosshair placement as well. It's a save for Liquid. It's a save for Liquid. Fluffy Aimers have fulfilled our first condition for them. They have forced Liquid to respect it. And now at this point, I mean, they can get out of this half with a tied scoreline. This is looking dang good.
Yeah, no, I mean, the pieces that had to activate are doing exactly that. We already highlighted them, Slump and Marky. Those are the two players that have been really solid for the Fluffy Aimers as of late, and they're at the top of the scoreboard. Even Jason's activated pretty well. He is, I would say, the third firepower piece, so all the players are playing their role quite well for the Fluffy Aimers as they get to a fifth round here. We go up to, I mean, the final round of this first one. I honestly felt that Liquid were going to take control a little earlier on, but I agree. I think they were trying to get into the faces of the Fluffy Aimers. You saw a couple of ill-advised pushes coming through on their CT side that Fluffy Aimers managed to punish, and that's what you got to do. Now what happens here on this timeout? They got to talk things over and readjust.
Where are we going to go with it? The Windows aggression got them some stuff early on, but not so much of late. They struggled to get Yekindar activated, which is usually a sign that you might be starting the round 5v4. One final round of this half before the switch will come in. Mid contention here. Jason looking for it, can't find. Twist instead dominates that angle. They want to take the space towards B, though. That's the adjustment. They got it outside of B main. It's mostly a fake being thrown from Brett right now. He's throwing the util. He's holding 3 players on this side of the map, but I think they're quickly realizing There might not be a whole lot behind this. There's the spot. Brett gets his first kill. Slump activates onto Naf. You still got Yeki in the cave. They have to contend with Brett before they can begin this rotation. They don't know about the bomb yet. Now they know. They got a player in the flank. They got a player behind. Ultimate will eventually find him, but he stalled out so much time. So the numbers work in their favor with the kill in the cave. Oh, Marky and Slump trying to hold the line, trying to time this up. Marky waiting with Molotov in hand. That'll stall them further. There's a kid. It's on Ultimate. Keep an eye on Ultimate's position. If he goes down, that could be the round. Certainly will be now. They gotta move. They gotta move. They gotta get on this bomb. There is no time to spare. And with that kill from the ramp, this one should be all but over. Indeed, it is. We're all knotted up to go to the break. Back in the second half, and I don't think this is what Liquid were expecting. Holy cow, the Fluffy Aimers came storming back into that game. It was looking like they might be down and out, but no. They had some serious fight to them, John.
No, absolutely. And I mean, if you would have looked at the Fluffy Aimers a month ago, then I would have said this is a huge surprise to see this type of score line, because Liquid should not have been losing to the other roster. But this one, I already mentioned it, Marky is an upgrade that can have a huge difference on the team. It creates a foundation that is lacking a lot of the time, especially it was for the Fluffy Aimers. So I'm excited to see what Fluffy Aimers can do here in the second half. But obviously, Liquid are like, okay, this is not going to be a walk in the park. We have to start taking our game up a little bit.
Slump. Play off of Brad here. Out by the big box he goes. Activation to Lesion. All right, now missing. And now they're forced out of the site. Bump plan all but guaranteed. Barring some really timely spam. With the clock now ticking away, the lack of a kit may come to cost them. See if Fluffy AIMERS can get back into this one. It's a really tough spot to get out of. For one there. News,
Okay.
making some noise. Hold on. This is still on. Double donut play. Landed for them. But News trying to bait the response. Do they check him? Yes, they do. And Ultimate will give the best check possible, a headshot.
That's actually like a ridiculous shot from Ultimate, just coming around that corner. 6 HP has to be perfect, and the crosshair placement is exactly that, to nail the shot. And Liquid win the pistol round, so they have the lead back in their hands. And on the Fluffy AIMERS side, they are not going to be forcing up here. They're just going to go for the eco, maybe some nade spot up. So you see the 2 nades on Brett and Markey, probably indicating that they're going to try and push down mid, toss those nades in towards elbow. We'll see. Could be a B play too. And looks like, no, yeah, there's those nades into elbow, and a frag off it, maybe a second as well. No, JKS stands tall up against those pistols, gets himself a 3-piece, and it's a 4v2 in favor of Liquid.
Looking like it's going to be another good start to the half. And considering how that last one ended, they might need it on Liquid, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was 5 rounds in a row from Fluffy AIMERS to close the first. Can't be doing that again. Oh. Ankle spotted. Ankle spotted. Hot on the trail is Slump. Like it's the 18th century and he's seen that hint of an ankle. Oh, and he's got the headshot as well. Just a MAC 10 to gain, so not a lot for your efforts. And a quick cleanup from Ultimate as well. Can Jason do the same? Oh, this is interesting, actually. They're coming his way. 50 seconds. They don't know he's here. They don't know he's here. They don't know he's here. Nap's gotten past. This is getting weird. Oh, he's going to get one. Massive result already. Now they have to contend with him to get the bomb. He doesn't have armor. Sustained fight, not ideal. The gun can be retrieved, but at least the Fluffy AIMERS make it expensive.
Yeah, that was a nice play from Jason. I think best outcome he could have hoped for given the circumstances. No armor, has the MAC 10 in his hands, hides behind the smoke, waits for the bomb to be planted, and then strikes. But it's just the lack of armor, like you said, doesn't afford him the opportunity to be in extended engagement. So it needs to be a quick headshot or a quick series of shots to the head with that MAC 10, and it does not happen. But at least the Fluffy AIMERS, like you said, made it expensive for Liquid. They're going to come in here with 4 Galils and the MAC 10. But it's not great. So, and Fluffy AIMERS on the other side, they have the 3 M4s, the FAMAS, and the off Markey. He wants to get aggressive. It looks like it anyway. Outside of Jaguar. He's going to throw a smoke. Slump actually gets the opener here onto Naf, and Brett spamming through the smoke. Doesn't connect on the body. I don't know if he got information there, but he is going to fall back.
Now Liquid hanging back massively. Treating this with some serious respect. In the 4-on-5. Looks like they're going to group and go for the B take. That's the reinforced site for Fluffy AIMERS, so kind of the ideal result as far as they're concerned. News jiggling. We'll get the smoke down as soon as he spots presence. There's enough flashbangs that they might just chain these and go straight through the smoke. And, oh, Brett's rotating off at just the wrong moment. Are they going to go through? Here it is. Chain flashes. Good entry. Looking for the cave player as well. And now they're starting to gain this space. And Markey overcommitting into that fight, giving up his life. This is now a nightmare scenario for his team to get back through.
And they had the opening frag too. Oh no, through the smoke as well. Yekindar is going to get Brett, and now they're falling back completely, trying to save these guns. That op is too important for Slump to try and go for an attempted retake there. He's already back towards the A site, and you see Jason into T spawn. This is just so unfortunate for the Fluffy AIMERS, especially considering that they got that opener on the defensive side. But afterwards, Liquid, like you said, just chaining flashes into that B site. It works perfectly because News is isolated and alone because Brett rotated off. And by the time the bodies come back for the Fluffy AIMERS, it is all too little too late. So, pretty strong start for Liquid here in this second half. Already making the first look like a distant memory.
Well, maybe. Maybe. This is how the first started as well. I'm just saying. I think Liquid's going to have some PTSD about potential comebacks for a while. And they should. They should.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes the best lessons are the scars we bear. And they better have learned that lesson well.
Well, taking their time now. Not underestimating these fluffy aimers in this half of action. You do see Naf already pushed out into that cubby right outside of B. I should say right outside of the B double doors. News is waiting here for contact. I think he was thinking about throwing the smoke. Now he's just going to stick to the MP9 and push down the ramp. Does he have support here? A flashbang perhaps from Markey? I don't think so. I think News is just trying to go for first contact and hope for a frag here. Catch him off guard in a bit of an off angle. He was spotted and Twist going to get two. Markey tried to support News, but it doesn't work out at all. 5v3.
Yeah, Slump's gonna stick around, see if he can't get something, but this might be a situation already pulled the plug. That op's so valuable. That op is so valuable. Time to get out of there. The young gun backing away. And they are going to concede double digits on to Liquid. So now it's just a stone's throw away from snatching your opponent's map pick, from moving on to Mirage. Curious what the appetite is for the hunt. They've got some money to spare. They're confident a retake's not coming based on how much control they have on the map. So now they're going to start to try and tighten the pressure on these players. Ooh. Op down. That's the big piece. That's the king piece. You can see Brett's immediately trying to fight back in to retrieve it. Needs his kill to do so, and it's not going to happen. It'll just be the one. A1 has to survive. JKS goes, but it's well worth the price.
Yeah, no, that was a nice job from Liquid. I mean, yes, they lost some bodies, like you said. Always worth it, given the amount of money that they had in their accounts, and of course how punishing it'll be for the fluffy aimers who can still afford those guns into this one. It's going to be 4 M4s and the op, but their money is in a much more dire spot than it would have been if they could carry those guns forward. Anyway, 10-6 for Liquid. There's that mid control attempted. What a flashbang thrown by Ultimate. JKS gets 2 off of it. Brett and Jason gone. 5v3. That's mid control gained. Oh my goodness, this could not have started worse for the fluffy aimers. News going to try and bring it back a little bit, but he's obviously burning away in this Molotov. Oh, JKS doesn't realize how far forward he's gotten, and it's going to be a freebie for News.
Looks a little silly.
Yeah.
I think, so he was hearing the Molotov tick, right? And you're wondering, well, why didn't he know there was a player? He thought he was backing out to that Molotov, presumably. So a little confident in that read, perhaps. Didn't realize there was still a friend to contend with. Yeah, Kindar not quite on the money with that fight. And now Markey could actually hold on to this, but look at the positioning for Twist. He's all the way through A. So they will spend the time. They will go for the rotate. The spot in towards mid. Gonna have to get a little more active on NAF just to make sure there's not a looming threat in Donut or CT. But it seems like Liquid are going to be confident to risk this. Here's the check. No one's seen so far. NAF talks. Oh, he's been spotted. He's been spotted, turns, but Markey's got that kill. Bomb still should be planted here. Should be the operative word. What you got, Markey? Little jiggle. Good flash. Turned. Ultimate fighting into this. And that's a nice bit of play.
News going to come back and get Twist, though. Ultimate in the 1v2. He's been good for it in the past, but not this time. Slump, the op frag, and the fluffy aimers are finally on the board here in the second half.
I kind of love these head-to-heads between Slump and Ultimate.
Yep.
Because it does feel a little bit like the contrast between a homegrown NA opera coming out of nowhere and the imported Wonder Kid. Exciting prospect, man. Slump doing this against Liquid is massively encouraging as well. It's not just him; the team as a whole is playing very well in these moments. But I think the numbers are encouraging, aren't they?
No question. Absolutely. I think initially back in July, it wasn't that long ago, is when Slump was brought on to this Fluffy Aimers roster to replace Pendulum, who I think is still a free agent. And then Bezimek was brought on to replace News, which ended up going in reverse afterwards as News is now back here. But that was one of their best pickups out of nowhere. I mean, you can look at Markey and say, yes, he's also a good pickup, but we know the value of Markey being brought on a roster. Slump wasn't unknown. So that's just a good piece of scouting coming through. And we're seeing it, like you said, against a team like Liquid. You don't necessarily expect these type of results from Slump, but he is at least delivering in that category.
It's just wild to me. I need a like a article profile on Slump. I want to understand where this dude came from. Because his first HLTV listed game is in April of this year, and he is looking like a serious talent. Be an awesome thing for the scene as a whole. Opping talent has often been a problem for North American teams.
Bit of a gap.
So if he keeps showing these numbers, he's gonna have a lot of interested suitors.
All right, well, round 18, and already first frag going the way of the Fluffy Aimers. Liquid, obviously a little bit hesitant to go for this hit towards this B site, but now they're going to try and commit 2 players in cave, and Markey gets the opener again. Man, he's been so good in this position. JKS going to try and toss the nade in. They're trying to get both, and they do. JKS delivering at least the couple, and Twist is going to get the follow-up. It's still going to be close, though. 2v2, 42 seconds left on the clock, and Liquid have to go and retrieve that bomb.
It's a Canadian combo now. Twist and Naf. The problem is that Twist had to pull off of that window angle to retrieve this C4. And Slump ain't missing. Slump ain't missing. Naf is no slouch with the big green either. But it's just not going to matter. The peek right back in. No hesitation, no missed shots, no wasted economy of movement. And the Fluffy Aimers are now in the thick of things. It's going to be an eco required of Liquid, presumably. And we might just have a tied game before you know it.
Oh my goodness, this is fun. Fluffy Aimers impressing. I honestly, Mike, looking at this one coming into it, and we talked about it a lot, I was thinking, okay, Liquid should have kind of a walk through this qualifier and make it all the way to IEM Rio, but not to be, at least not in map 1 here against the Fluffy Aimers, who've gotten those 8. And like we talked about before, this is the best map for the Fluffy Aimers. Oh, Marky's going to have an opening fight 1 here against Yakindar. So we have 5v4. It is their best map, so we do expect to be the most competitive here. And Liquid, I think they just want a bomb plant out of this, and they might get it.
Might do. Presence in cave might preclude that. Shadow spotted. Reminder of a shot from JKS. Here's a follow-up. Hold on. Hold on. There is danger in this round now. Bomb's ticking away. Couple quick kills, and a rifle in the hands of Twists. He's got the armor behind it as well. JKS, can you get anything here? No. No. Slump quick on that trigger, and so is Brett. So, a bomb plant, bit of damage, a better buy in the next. But a round win, it is not.
Round number 20. Here come the guns again for Liquid. One thing we haven't really seen here on this T side is a quick hit towards either bomb site to really try and challenge the Fluffy Aimers. I think it might be because of how well Fluffy Aimers dealt with the aggression on the CT side when they were up against Liquid. I should say when Liquid was on their CT side and they were trying to go for those pushes. So we'll see. Digging into their strat book a little bit. 2 players sent towards the B site. A couple leaning into A main, I want to say. And the bomb carrier is just lining up util. That's ultimate, I imagine anyway. There it is. Yep, that smoke's going to get thrown. That is for Donut. 1 for mid-control here. Pinching from both sides by Liquid.
And they got it. Brett deleted. The tough spot to play, and he has suffered the effects of it. Markey finally out. Yakindar feels like he's rarely been able to get the edge on his counterpart in cave, and this time, now it's Fluffy Aimers in a really bad spot. Still Slump coming back into the action. Thinking next. Ultimate taken out of play. News lost. There's the trade as well. Well, Slump knew he had to do something to make this a possibility. It's not going to happen. The chase down to the bomb leads Jason straight into the crosshair of Twists.
That was very well executed by Liquid, honestly. I mean, they were waiting for the right time to pop those smokes. The one in Donut thrown all the way from T-spawn by Ultimate, and then they had that mid-control as well by the smoke in Red Room. they had Slump at the end, the tail end of it, trying to do something, and he hit a ridiculous shot again. He's got 21, which is crazy. No one else really close to him. Maybe Mark at 14, but that's 7 frags away. And then afterwards, though, Liquid just taking control, and you're seeing them flex their muscles now. Need to do so to get past the finish line against the Fluffy AIMERS squad that's been much more resilient than I think anyone expected coming into this map.
Most decidedly. Most decidedly. Not going to be taking anything lightly here. That op in the hands of Slump is just... It's gotta leave you prepared. And they may not be expecting it either. Jason gets 1 off the 5-7. It's Twists as well, who's been the heavy hitter here. Up through mid, he's found consistent damage. Marky's going to come looking. And Ultimate's patient on the swing back. It's only Brett on this side of the map. Brett's come alive a little bit in the second half, but it's still been a tough one for him. Jindar. Oh, stacks up with JKS and both go down to that MP9 tight corners. Close range, that's not what you were hoping for if you're Liquid. It's falling apart. It's all just on an F. It's all just on an F. How has it gone so wrong, John?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, look, it's the impact frags that count here, right? For Brett, and those two could not be more impactful at this moment of the match. I don't understand how they come out there. I guess the timing is just a little bit off, maybe the spacing as well, because you shouldn't be lined up for an MP9 in that position. You should have a little bit more of a gap between the two players so a trade can come through. But I mean, there was very little the player behind the one taking that opening fight could even see. So yeah, well done from Brett, holding the line. And NAF is going to just save the AK. Liquid, even though things looked fantastic for them, given the firepower, given the circumstances, they still found a way to lose that round.
Counter-terrorists
win. Ooh, okay. Well, Liquid going to be buying into this one. 2 AKs, 3 make it, and a couple of MAC-10s. Util's very strong as well. So managing their economy pretty decently here. As a timeout's going to be called by the Fluffy AIMERS, in fact, to talk things over. They know what's on the line here. Their money's still pretty good as well. So even if they lose this round and they're going to have to win 2 in a row to force it to overtime, they won't be in a dire spot, but they're thinking about even better. Obviously, they want to take this one and make it a full 30. Full 24. Sorry. I got lost there in the sauce.
Whatever the number is going to be. We get it, John.
Mike.
Yearning for the old days. You saw Marky's name.
Dude.
And you
it's
wanted,
just so many years of playing MR15, right? It's just hard to shake it off.
Hard written on your brain. By the way,
really
someone tweeted at me, apparently Marky's other tags. I think I shared this with you during the break, John, but for everyone else, Marky's other tags he's been playing under, there's CS2 equals poop, CS2 takes 0 skill, and CS2 sucks. So I think we know how he feels about the game. Those are his last 3 nicks before going back to Marky for this event. So there you go. Ultimate. Looking to get all of this space for the team. If they come through the smoke, they're coming through the smoke. Disaster on. That should be the death knell. That should be it. Bomb ticking away. Plenty to be saved here on Jason and Slump. Jason's going to give it a look at 1 HP. He is not long for this world. Upgrade delivered. And a Liquid will find map point off of a blistering B take.
That's what they kind of needed to do at a certain point. I was saying it, you know, they're going for these executes, which is fine, you know, digging into your draft book and trying out a few things. It worked out quite well a couple of rounds ago. And I mean, here they just say, okay, let's send it to B. Let's see what we can do. And it works out extremely well. A couple of smokes thrown to create life difficult to create a difficult situation for the Fluffy AIMERS as they're pushing through. And there was nothing at all that they could do. Slump, okay, survives. A little lucky that the time was on his side in that situation, and the op will be carried through. And I did want to mention his name anyway, because he has been a star player for the Fluffy AIMERS so far here on Ancient. 23 frags now, and he continues to look strong, going toe-to-toe with every single player on Liquid and not looking like he's out of place. I don't think this one's over yet either, Mike, because like I mentioned, Fluffy AIMERS still have the money here. They've still got Slump with the AWP, a couple of M4s, a FAMAS MP9. Sure, the util's a little bit light, but I don't know. We've seen crazier comebacks. Oh, maybe Twist is having none of it, though. He gets the opener there onto Marky.
Marky will not be seeing this comeback.
No.
Regardless of whether it happens or not. His eyes have been closed. I'd say forever, but really just for the next minute or so.
Yeah. Let's not go too far.
We're gamers. We don't die. We respawn. Slump is burning! Slump is burning! And with Slump burning, it may just be done. Twist spraying down 2. It's over. Jason with an impossible task, even if he were the man of legend, of myth, of the Argonauts himself. First of all, he'd say, what is a computer? Second of all, I don't even think that heroic effort would be enough. Yekindar proves too much to handle, and it is a 13-10 for Team Liquid as they will put this one away, move up 1-0 in our series. It's the result we expected, but I don't think we got here the way we did, John.
No, not at all. Honestly, the Fluffy AIMERS did a lot more than I think either of us real occasions, except if maybe you're looking at Slump and Marky, who are doing pretty well for themselves. I don't know. If Slump can pop off and have a lot of impact here, maybe Fluffy AIMERS have a chance, but it feels like Liquid are, as expected, the favorites to pull off the 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, most decidedly. I think anyone who looked at this matchup ahead of time would be a lunatic if they said anything otherwise. But it's all about that audition. It's all about looking good. It's all about pressing one of the top dogs in the region as much as you can. And if Fluffy AIMERS can keep that pressure up, reminder as well, Liquid had hot starts to both halves. Right? Like, if they lost a pistol, that could have been bad.
Yep.
As it is, quick trade in the ups. And there's still 2 players here. They may not expect to player jail. There's the tap. Marky going to sell this further, but they do, in fact, clean out the tight corner. News down for the count. Still, the bodies are dropping. It's looking a little tough. It's looking a little rough, and a bomb plant requires a few more kills to make it possible. A full-on brawl here. All falls to Yekindar, and that's not going to happen.
Interesting. All right. Well, Fluffy AIMERS holding the fort there towards the B site. I mean, all the bodies were present, so a good read from Fluffy AIMERS as Liquid were trying to charge in, but could never really have the impact they were hoping for, with still 3 Fluffy AIMERS left standing at the end of that round. And now we go into it, and Liquid not getting the bomb plant say, well, that's going to mean we're stuck on the Glocks, guys. No investments at all. Not even a piece of utility purchased up here by Liquid. And it looks like they just want to hold here at top mid for some aggression to come through. Fluffy AIMERS may deliver that to them. This could be a problem because 4 players stacked up. Even just Glocks can be quite a threat. Slump waits around the corner and he eventually goes down, but it should be all that Liquid is able to get here. And yeah, that nade probably chases Twist. He got fragged before it, and then Yekindar is down as well. 2-0 for FA.
Look, we asked the question before that pistol round. What would have happened on Ancient if they hadn't gotten the pistols? They don't get the pistols. They don't get the conversion. So, maybe a little bit more work cut out for Liquid if you don't have the hot starts to halves. Start a little cold. Got to get warmed up real quick. I'm figuring out the path here. I'm painting the picture. I'm figuring out the path to make this a real game.
I mean, I think we're going to have to see something from Fluffy AIMERS up against the rifles. Then we can get a little bit excited. And it's going to happen right here, of course. The AKs are out, and Slump gets the opener this time with the M4 up against Twist. Down to 1 HP, though, so kind of lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
Liquid are swarming around this A site, Mike.
I like the idea of the nade pop. Yeah. It was executed quite well. Good flashbang. Good execution there. Slump helping out with that flash. Brett executing on the kill. And this is looking good. Slump even getting one more.
Okay.
Wow. All right. Here you go. You wanted to see it on the rifles. We see it on the rifles. And it's not just that they're shooting well. It's that they took the initiative in every one of those engagements, right? They get the nade pop to catch out Twist. They have the flashbang peek into the ramp player. They are defining the engagements. And Liquid were not prepared.
No, I mean, they're looking very coordinated, which is maybe not something I would personally expect, nor Liquid probably, from the Fluffy Aimers, because this team, I mean, the core has been together for quite some time, but looking at Marquee and News, kind of just coming into this roster as of recently. Every time I say News has been added, again, he was part of this roster a couple of months ago, so I guess he knows the system that Brett has in place. Anyway, still, Fluffy Aimers 3, Liquid nothing, and the rifles dealing very little damage from Liquid either. Slump gets the opener on Yukindar. I can't believe this is happening, to be quite honest, but yeah, it's going to be 4-0 in favor of the Fluffy Aimers unless something goes absolutely disastrously wrong, and it's not. Markey getting a couple of frags on Nap and Twist. Ultimate does connect for one, but he is immediately dealt with, and JKS left standing in the smoke, and that won't protect him either. News a 2K, and it is indeed 4-0 for the Fluffy Aimers.
And to keep it clean, they've got some money built up. This is the ideal start. This is great. Early momentum on here, pressure on the Liquid. It's still very early days.
Yes.
But this is about as good of a start as you could have hoped for the Fluffy Aimers. And the question is, can you continue to build? And no one started slow either, right? Like, Brett had a goose egg for pretty much that entire first half. Here, 4-0, right off the rip. So that confidence is going to be flowing. You're not going to have any massive Achilles heels, hopefully showing here in terms of individual form. And that's going to be encouraging for FA.
Interesting smokes being thrown here from both sides, and there's the smoke pop coming through from the Fluffy Aimers, hoping to spot something, but no one's there, at least not within their view. This Twist is indeed close by here at Connector, and he'll be joined by Naf as well. Mid control gained by Liquid, although it wasn't really challenged from the Fluffy Aimers. There's an important first frag found by JKS. Twist moves away from Connector, try and support his team's advance in towards Window, and they do get a player up there, and in the meantime, he himself goes in to top Connector, and he's going to push through the smoke, Mike. They're going through.
They're going through. They got the stair space. Jungle players backed out. Ooh, this could get very tough for the Aimers. I think Slump's going to need to bail them out with this AWP. Finds the ramp player. There it is. Flashbang, but he hits the timing shot. Now a second follow-up, and suddenly, uh-oh. Coming apart at the seams for Liquid. They got all this ground. They couldn't capitalize. Is Slump aware? Is Slump aware? Oh, this is all about timing. This is all about timing. He has no idea. Naf's going to find that kill, but he's lost his teammate in the meantime, so it's all for Naf to do. His position known, 25 seconds. Good idea with the Molotov. Marky will be forced out, and Marky will burn. A clutch. 20 seconds. Chance to retrieve that bomb. Has to face the con player to do so. Here's the peek. There's the shot. And the Clutchmeister, Mr. Nafly himself, does it again.
That is unbelievable from Naf, for one, right? Slips in towards CT. No one has any awareness of that, so the information is lost on Slump, who gets fragged out immediately. And then Marky, he knows the Molotov's burning at his feet, but he's hoping he can win the fight and the round. But in the end, he just hangs around that Molotov for way too long, and that's Naf finding that. And that's just a really good job into Connector, isolating that fight. But still, I guess my point is, I can't believe it took that for Liquid to win the round, because the Fluffy Aimers are challenging as well as they did on Ancient, which is surprising me. I don't know if it's going to hold up for the whole map, but so far, looking pretty good. They did lose their big piece in Slump at the beginning of this round, but trades are coming through, still very back and forth, although it's a man advantage retained for Liquid.
And now followed up as well. So Naf, who closed down the last, is making it very good in the next. As Liquid look to find their second. Gonna need a big play from Jason here. News is kind of stuck. Well, now News is unstuck. Unfortunately, not the way he would have imagined.
Yeah.
One heck of a WD-40 can. I think he's gonna save. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Stu, yeah. Just joking. But 2 rounds found for Liquid. Jason, I'm not even sure he's going to be afforded the opportunity to save. I think Liquid want to get aggressive on the hunt, and yeah, here they come. Yekindar will join JKS, who was actually dead now because Jason spotted him out. Now he's looking towards Yekindar and finds that frag too, so it's getting expensive for Liquid. They don't have that much money either, so I don't think any more hunting is justified here, and they will, in fact, fall off and not go after Jason any further. So Jason gets 3 frags, he gets the M4. That'll help his team's economy go into that next round.
Oh, and he gets the bomb.
See the bomb.
Uh-oh, Jason. Uh-oh.
That's CS2 bomb.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a little bit unfortunate calculation. Was hoping to get alive, hoping to make it through. Not gonna happen. And that does mean any thoughts they might have had about a force buy around that rifle, obviously gone now. It'll be the eco here, a chance for Liquid to build up their bank, to let some of those investments mature. But you do have to not fumble kills against the pistols. And there's some deagles out here. Oh. Airburst Molly. But it was enough to chase Jason out of the position. The thought of the Molotov got him out of there. This is a double Balk setup. Are they one high, one low, or are they both up top? Or I guess both down below. There's options.
I think it's one high, one low. Yeah. But as it stands, Liquid only have to worry about these deagles. Marquis Deagle can actually be pretty potent, so maybe I have to worry. No, okay. Naf deals with him immediately. That's not even in the picture anymore. 5v4 in favor of Liquid, and now it's when the body should start to topple here. Naf tosses Nate on forward. Maybe they overlook Brett. Nope. Twist takes care of that. They're clearing all the angles, being very methodical about it, and Liquid should be able to secure their third round here.
Why?
Oh,
Why?
Jason,
That's the bomb.
What?
That's the
That's
bomb.
The bomb. Oh, no. Why?
What is the thinking here? Well, it shouldn't cost them the round.
Why?
But that one's gonna... That's a worrying one. There's no armor. It is gonna be okay. 2 casualties lost. But let's talk that through. So they have 2 players who've walked out onto A.
Yes.
They're getting a ton of vision of the site. They have presence in the apartments, but no vision onto the B site. And they double push around bricks with the bomb going first.
It's concerning. Honestly, it's concerning to see that happen because everything indicated, like you said, Mike, that they would go towards A because there are 2 players clearing it out. You've got all the space. You've already found frags. There's no reason to go to the other side of the map. And, I mean, they could have easily fumbled it at that point with the bomb down.
I think there's a couple things it could be. It could be a misread where they still thought there was a player lurking around a corner on A. It could be a miscomm. And it could be just a lack of diligence in terms of forgetting who had the bomb where while they're trying to clean up those last couple of kills. In this round, they've lost the first kill, but they've taken Slump back in turn. Let's see what they can do. Mid-control, firmly in the grasp of Liquid. They've already got a player up con as well. It's looking decent. Brett responds. He's low HP, but he's pushed in towards the ramp. They will have known about that, of course, because he got the kill on JKS. So you can see Naf's coming back to check it and retrieve that C4. Ooh, the push. This is the push into the bricks. This is what they did with the Deagles in the last time, but this time there's a Yeki right on the other side of those bricks.
They're going to fall off, yeah. The Fluffy Aimers going back towards that B site, and Liquid committing to A this time. Jason's completely smoked off, and he can't really do much of anything. This will be a bomb plant, likely, in a post-plant situation for the Fluffy Aimers. They've already lost another body. Ultimate through the smoke and blinded. Finds Marky. News coming in on a flank. He's trying to do what Twist did to them a little while ago, and he's going to have to in a 1v4 situation. The problem is it's not as surprising for a CT player to come from CT spawn in this situation, especially with all of the time that's burned off the clock and the bomb.
Yeah, and also, meanwhile, Ultimate's nearly aced his team, so...
Yeah.
Picking them apart. They kept giving him fights in towards mid. Ultimate, you gonna get the ace? Oh, he won't! He will be denied, and they'll continue to make these rounds expensive. But a round win it cannot be. So Fluffy Aimers back onto another deco, presumably. Ultimate will have to wait for his ace. But it is a Liquid to not up the scoreline here.
Yeah, and 4 in a row as well, right? Finally, Liquid finding their mojo a little bit here against the Fluffy Aimers, and FA do have enough to get some body armor here and upgraded pistols, but that's it. No utility available to them. Usually you'd see maybe a little bit more of a stack in this type of situation, but they're leaning into a 2-1-2, or were, until Marky charged down into the underpass. He's trying to get information for his squad. He will have a lot of it, I would imagine, because no one is home here in this vicinity. You'll hear all the footsteps above him as well. So probably Fluffy Aimers aware of where Liquid are, but still, the guns aren't really there. Marky does get the opener, traded out by Ultimate. JKS waiting for this push. Easy peasy lemon squeezy on that one. 4v3 in favor of Liquid.
Some of the magic seems to have dissipated here for the Fluffy Aimers. We're not expecting much in this round. But I think the thing that I'm hoping for is that we can get a little bit more of that slump magic that we had on Ancient.
Mm-hmm.
Get the AWP in his hands. Let's see if the kid can cook here on Mirage. Haven't necessarily had the moments just yet. Ooh, hold on. Brett spotted a little bit of a pixel there. Up on the sandwich. But he's cleared up. And it's clean as. One casualty for Liquid. Money back in their pockets as we come towards the back third of this half.
Yeah, and like momentum firmly in Liquid's hands right now compared to the beginning of this half. They've corralled it back in their favor. 4 M4s and the AWP now coming through Fluffy Aimers. You're getting your wish, Mike. At least we're going to see Slumpin. I guess it's my wish too, because I'd like to see him pop off a little bit and show us what he's made of on a map where it should favor him for sure. An Opera's paradise in some ways here on Mirage. See Slump, already losing that battle, or almost losing it, down to 2 HP. Shot is missed, and he's going to have to fall off a little bit. In the meantime, Marky connects onto Twist through the smoke, getting him down to 43, but still, this is not trending well for the Fluffy Aimers already. They're going to try and put pressure onto him. This might work out for them, actually, and it does. They get one, but the trade is good from Nav, who throws a flashbang for himself as well. They're putting more pressure onto him, and he will eventually fall. 4v2 in favor of FA.
And of course, Bomb firmly in the grasp of the Aimers. There's time to cook here. There's time to try and bring this one back around. Time to, at the very least, get some extra damage going. Ultimate's in the underpass. News has gone all the way through apartments, so they should only be wary about the underpass at this point. And Knapp. There comes Khan. First player found. Marky down for the count. Slump is low here by Ticket. Down goes Slump. And the round is back on. Kindar has done some serious work here. Now by Delpan. Rest Brett. Down he goes. Next victim on. This one-man army tearing them asunder, and Ultimate coming in for the finishing blow. Now there's the Kindar we expect. There's a little bit of the magic. He was, a little quieter on Ancient, struggled to get activated, but finding his form here now on Mirage.
That was something else. 4v2 in favor of the Fluffy Aimers, and then 4 unanswered frags from Liquid, 3 of them, as you said, from Yakindar. Yeah, he had a tough go there on Ancient, but it's great to see him finding his form a little bit here on Mirage. I think he still has some inconsistency, you know, from map to map, but obviously, for Liquid's sake, they want him to be consistent and find his form more often than not. News going to appearing around here with the Deagle into the apartments, and Liquid are going to storm through. News hits the headshot, falls off, doesn't take any damage himself, and now Liquid have to stall out a little bit. They're going to throw some util up. They want to keep pushing into the B site. They still have to worry about News, who could pop out and hit another head here. JKS taking a bit of damage, and they're pincering them in with the Deagles. Jason connects on the JKS. He gets away almost scot-free. Finally, News is going to get sprayed down, and Ultimate pulls out the tech to deal with Jason. Look at the damage they've taken, and there's still a chance here for the Fluffy Aimers to pull it off, and there it is. Yekindar's down as well. There's AKs available to be picked up, and Liquid are trying to pick up the pieces and get back into this round.
This is going to be a cheeky spot for Slump as well. Going to have a ton of awareness to clear this. Well, or he'll peek.
What?
He peeked. And Naf was, in fact, ready for it. There's still very little health on these remaining 2 players. So this is doable for the Fluffy Aimers, but they're going to be completely isolated towards either site. It's going to have to be the individuals. Question is, does Marky go unchecked? They seem to be headed towards A. There's a Molotov for Underbalk. If he gets mollied, good luck. 20 seconds. Molotov's going to be committed towards jungle. Back turned. Ultimate down. Bomb dropped. 15 seconds. The ult, not what you want for this fight. It's desperation for Naf, and he'll find the MP9 at range. That's a disaster for Liquid, and the Fluffy Aimers will be laughing all the way to the bank.
Oh man, just beautifully done from the Fluffy Aimers, though. Got to give him a lot of credit. First, News hits the Wandig and then falls through the window. falls out of the window to get back on the site. No damage taken. Jason comes in, puts the pressure on the flank in the meantime, while they're still trying to clear out News, who they eventually do, but Jason does get another one with the Deagle himself, and although both players fall, they do so much damage to Liquid, and after that, the rest of the Fluffy Aimers take care of the remaining players. So well done on their side. Liquid, they want that one back, as now it could be another 6-6 half. Unbelievable.
Making them earn it for sure. They're making this tough. No stomping to be had. Brett finds one. The second as well. Trade's not good, and Markey now chimes in. It's a clean sweep.
What?
And we're sent to the half. We're back here in the second half. It's all tied up once again. Fluffy Aimers really making Liquid work for this here, John.
Yeah, no, it's quite impressive, right? They got off to that hot start, that 4-0 start off the pistol round victory, and then afterwards Liquid kind of did the same thing to them with 4 in a row, but the last 4 rounds were very back and forth, and the Fluffy Aimers, that last one in particular, was just a slaughter. As soon as Liquid stepped onto the site, everyone was dead. Look, I'm impressed with the Fluffy Aimers have been doing here up against Liquid. The question is, can they push it across the finish line this time? And you highlighted the difference between victory and defeat on map number 1 being the pistol round victories for Liquid. This time they lost the first one. Maybe if they lose the second one, Fluffy Aimers will stand a chance here of taking this.
They're going full Glocks. There's no utility to try a site take here. Full Glocks. And Brett's also broken his own ankles for luck.
is against the current meta for sure.
It's an interesting one. Brett's just trying to throw a little bit of a fake. That's his life. Oh, my goodness. That kill might help sell it. But look at this. Look at Naf. Naf, shoes up too. Back in the apartments. Found the bomb as well. Now, defending from the catwalk. Just going to be Marquis. Trying to stick a plant on down. Wants to kill before he does so. He'll have it. Planting exposed to catwalk, though. Oh, means he doesn't quite get those numbers punched in. Thought they'd be rotating through market. Made a gamble and a guess. Guessed incorrectly.
Yeah, I don't necessarily mind it, right? You figure that the two players won't be coming from cat after you just found that frag, but it doesn't work out for him. Could have gone for the save plant too, which would have assured him at least the bomb plant money into this round, but Liquid do indeed find that pistol round, so we'll have to be left wondering if it would have been a difference if the Fluffy Aimers had taken it. Looking at FA, no bomb plant means no upgrades. They are stuck onto Glocks across the board, except for Marky, who risks it with the Deagle off of the kill bonus he got in that previous round.
Having seen a few Marky Deags, I'm for it.
Oh, absolutely.
I endorse this message. Oh, that nade. That nade? Ooh, yeah, some good red bars. Saw a 300 damage nade in the apartments against one of our pistols on a Mirage game the other day. John? Beautiful. Anything better than a meaty HE.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
Quick little dink onto JKS, but he's making his money. He will get one. That's all she wrote. 4 stacked up for JKS. That's going to be some extra money in the tank. Could actually drop an op over to Ultimate if they wanted to. Well, you'd have to sell some util, so that's not going to happen. You'll have an A1S, young man, and you'll like it.
So I'm looking over at the other match that's happening here, Mike, and Legacy won map number 1, 13-6, and on Ancient it's actually Lag winning 6-2, so maybe that one will go through maps. Anyway, back to this. Slump gonna get the opener, and Ultimate, the immediate trade, 4v4. Jason falls as well. They just can't get into mid here on the Fluffy Aimer side. They do send one over to Balcony. Oh no, they get lost as JKS at least news gets the shot. I don't think that was in midair, but it doesn't matter. Ultimate gets the trade immediately. 3v2 in favor of Liquid, even though it's been a bit messy getting here.
That's a big kill for Brett. That's a big kill. Avoids the trade. Avoids it for the moment. Ooh, spotted getting back over towards catwalk. We got the information. That's going to put Naf on high alert here. He's smoking and going back through it. This is bold. Does that mean his teammate's trying to link up with him an underpass? No, he's still going out apps. I'm a little confused by this decision-making. It's a fake. It's another fake. Brett's throwing his body on the line to pull another one of these fakes through.
No.
And it's worked out. He's caught Yekindar. Would have assumed that that bomb was making its way towards site, so now this could just be a disaster. He'll hear that vent break now. Naf realizes he's been bamboozled. Absolutely frazzled in this one. Brett has had a number of these rounds where he just leads them around by their nose, but Marky did not take advantage, and now, actually, I think Naf just caught a pixel. Oh, if he clears E-Box. And of course he will. Ever aware, but not got the final bullet. Just a little jiggle from Marky is enough to offset the aim, and it will be the Fluffy Aimers keeping it close.
Wow, that was so very close to being a Liquid round victory. Naf getting Marky down to 6 HP, but Marky, as did on map number 1, holds his ground here up against Liquid. 14 for him, actually, at the top of the scoreboard this time. The one who slowed up a bit is Slump, but like you were mentioning, Brett's kind of picked up the pace himself, so that's not mattering that much, and doing it while lurking on opposite sites. In that case, going on to A and doing so much damage that Liquid were expecting him to be the one or the prong of the attack, but it was on the other side. Ultimate is going to get that frag onto Marky now with the op upgraded here for himself. Yekindar waiting with the CZ, looking at that smoke. This is going to be tough for FA to get into, and yeah, now Twist finding that makes it even more difficult.
And the CZ finds its mark. It's all falling apart. News does take down the CZ, but at the cost of his information, of his position, of the element of surprise. Can he get out from Tetris? Survey says probably not. Op shot baited. But time enough to reach chamber. He's trying to find some way to escape, but it's not to be. Liquid back in control here, isolating that round win and continuing to build on their CT side.
All right. Fluffy Aimers. Not going to buy that much into this round, as you would expect. They're waiting for that money to build up a little bit further, and with the $2,400 out into their bank accounts the next round, that should be a more potent buy-up. This time, they are going to get a couple of players with body armor and some upgraded pistols, but overall, not much hope for a round victory here into this one. Twist going to get the opener towards mid. The rest of the Fluffy Aimers heading to the apartments. That nade going to connect? Yes, it is! Oh my goodness, Marky! Down to 2 HP off of that nade. Naf finishing off News. Spamming around, and will find the last, or I should say 3 of the last 4 with Yakindar, getting the last onto Slump. 10 rounds for Liquid.
Still thinking about that one kill that had the mid-air logo, but no mid-air kill. And my theory is one of his feet was over the opening of the ladder on balcony.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it could be that, because we're seeing those wings come through more frequently than they should, right? In some situations.
That's my working theory.
I think you could be right, yeah.
That's what I'm going with, until proven otherwise.
It's a really cool addition to the UI, for sure, but it's still a little buggy, as are
100%.
a lot of things in CS2.
I mean, as casters, we always just appreciate more information,
Of course, yeah.
We'll learn the flaws in it. Ultimate. Finding some flaws in his health bar, but Twist's gonna make up for them with no problem.
Oh.
Stacking up the kills, and now it is looking very good for Liquid to inch ever closer to this dub.
Oh, Brett and News.
Fireworks. Apologies if that's coming through. Brett, though,
Yeah.
is finding some fireworks of his own. News is still a little bit of an unknown, but Red and ready. Red can get back to this bomb. The problem is he's only got 12 points of health. So that is 4 points for each of his opponents. And he will need a few more.
Yeah, well, I mean, not much was expected out of the Fluffy Aimers here on Mirage, but at the very least, they've got those 7 rounds. It's still close despite the fact that Liquid have owned this second half and FA's only gotten 1 round. But they're going to hope for something perhaps special to happen into this one with just the pistols being purchased up, and they're saving for the rifles in what could be the last round of play here in this series. We'll see if the Fluffy Aimers can avoid being sent to the lower bracket here on Mirage. But it's going to be tough. Ultimate charging up. Oh, actually, this could get a little messy for Ultimate. I'm surprised he's being this aggressive with the op. He's caught out and well supported by his teammates. Well, luckily for him, as he's afforded the opportunity to fade away. And Fluffy Aimers continue to fall here. They just have those pistols and no armor, so it is only News left standing.
P250 in a dream. First one found. Hold on. The most improbable round of all time. Nades bursting around him, spam through the box. A man against the world, and the world will win. And now Liquid get 5 chances to close this series, to move on here in the upper bracket of this qualifier, to put Fluffy Aimers in the rearview mirror, as they have done throughout this second half.
And again, I think Fluffy Aimers, if you look at their map pool, it's kind of one map and done for the most part. And that map being Ancient, as we saw, they performed quite well there. But again, they still need some time to cook with Marky on the roster. And I think Slump as well, because he is technically a recent addition. 5 rounds required in a row from them. And oh, that's not good. Ultimate going to get the op frag onto Jason immediately. He continues to just push up and kind of bully Fluffy Aimers. And then he flicks to find another one. How does he hit that shot? Bomb delivered at his feet. And this could be over.
This guy is never lacking in confidence.
Jeez.
Ultimate's such an exciting player to watch, and now with the control of that C4, yeah, it's disaster stations for Fluffy Aimers. Start sending up some prayers to whatever deity you believe in, because they're going to need a miracle to keep fighting here on Mirage. Who's going to be the patron saint? Who's going to deliver that? Meanwhile, look, Naf's starting to take some ground here in apartments. He's going to catch a player back turned. Gets even worse. Slump living up to his name. As bit by bit, the pieces come off the board. One more remains. News, this time more than a P250, but more work to do, and it's not gonna happen. Liquid with the 2-0. Liquid with the confident win on Mirage, looking a lot more stable on their own map pick, and putting Fluffy AIMERS away with ease.
Yeah, and I think the one good piece of news I would say for the Fluffy AIMERS is that they're looking more